Hey family, so I wanted to run some ideas by you. So, a lot of people seem to think that America is going to be the first country to produce a non authoritarian communist as a leader. And I think that is really hilarious. Why? Because if the saying absolute power corrupts absolutely is true, why would you want to hand over a military empire like the United States over to a communist, hoping that they will not use that power the same way China has used it, or the same way North Korea has used it, right? Or Mussolini, or Stalin, right? There's real examples of how communism sounds good and it teaches you to hate the rich, but every time it's been tried, it hasn't worked. And I know. I've actually heard sociology professors tell me that wasn't true communism, which most non woke college students understand how ridiculous that is, right? And it is amazing when you see political asylum seekers leaving China saying, hey, we were part of the Hong Kong protests. We want to come to America. Please let us in because we don't like the communist rule of China. And how the woke mob in the United States, the left wing for social justice, now wants to bring in, you know, the communists. Okay, you can be mad that rich capitalists don't share their money enough, they don't spend enough, they hoard too much and they're miserly. By all means, criticize that. But if you think an American version of communism is gonna work and be peace and civil, you got another thing coming. We have so many people in prison. Okay? We have so many gang members. And even our own cops have problems with, keeping the order. Even our soldiers cause crimes in other areas. Not all of them, some of them, yes. So, we fail at a lot of things, we succeed at other things. But if you think the elite Democrats and the elite Republicans are going to just bow down to an anarchist or a communist, you have another thing coming. I mean, our country put kids in cages at the border, right? We had Japanese internment camps. We allow homeless people to sleep on the streets, and some of them are veterans. We have a lot of good qualities about us in our country, but we have a lot of rugged individualism and a little bit of bullheaded thick skull, right? That's going to take a lot of years to, shift, change, to adapt. No country is perfect, regardless of what anyone says. So I do find it strange that on the left side of the political spectrum, the people who say they want to end fascism think that bringing in communism, German communism, Marxists are, Marx was a German, bringing that into America and seeing how it plays out. I mean, why make that kind of a risk? That's like Russian roulette. That is, oh my gosh, if you think a billionaire capitalist is bad, like Bezos of Amazon, they say, oh, he's evil. Wait, if you had somebody at the nexus of power in the White House with the communist leanings, I mean, the type of rage that leader would have to instill to uproot the bourgeoisie, right? And to raise the proletariat, it would be quite interesting to see because the proletariat today, they're not just all farmers like they were in the USSR. Many of them were farmers, rugged, good, salt of the earth people. Today, I think we have a lot more lazy people. I think we have a lot more lazy people and drug addicts. And a lot of degenerates. So a communist ruling over those kinds of people and weaponizing them against the rich is not going to go over well. I mean, back in the olden days, right, it was harder to escape your country. Now, though, the rich can just get on planes and go live somewhere else, and their money is exchanging itself into the, through the internet, essentially. And they can hire people to do their portfolios and stuff for them. And if the rich leave, a lot of the benefits that come with them living around will go away and all their political power. I know it's popular. I have sometimes a lot of hatred towards certain rich people, but I think it's wrong to a degree of you shouldn't be covetous, you shouldn't be jealous. The Creator gave you what He gave you. What they have is what they have, and they'll be tested in the way in which they spend it. Isn't that what Allah says? So it's strange to me how people want to trade a capitalist for a communist in an energy like America, right? Because remember, most communists turn into military dictatorship. Could you imagine a communist dictator with the power and reach and financial backing of the United States? See, we've forgotten the value of the Founding Fathers, the Bill of Rights, and the Constitution. The left mocks it openly, right? You think a communist is gonna care about your Bill of Rights? You think they care about your weird little fashion things or anything like that? Somebody with that amount of power is going to change. I mean, you gotta be careful what you wish for, man. You just might get it. If Che Guevara was brutal to his enemies, Fidel Castro was brutal to his enemies, Hitler, Stalin, Mussolini, Lenin, and others, Kim Jong-un of North Korea, Kim Jong-un's father, Il-sung, whatever his name was, and today, Xi Jinping is his name, of China. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. You know what's a little funny, though, is if that ever did come to America, how many Americans would become refugees, which I think is very funny. A lot of us deny refugees, but how many would flee to Mexico and Canada? Wow. I don't know, man. America's failed at a lot of things, but if you think George Washington is worse than a communist in the German fashion, you haven't read enough. You need to stop listening to your woke Democrat teachers, and you need to start reading more. You need to really hear what it was like to live under such a communist regime, and ask yourself if you think an American is going to do a better job. To be a communist, you have to bring people under the heel, to the boot. You unite them under what? Under hatred of somebody, to take what they have and redistribute it. Americans are selfish. So some of us will gladly, they will say, oh, covet what they have, take it from them, give it to me. I'm not going to work as hard as them, but I want it. And then you'll have the big business side who will turn us all into Chinese sweatshops and other bad aspects of communist labor markets. There's a reason why communists change slowly, little by little, to capitalists, because they realize incentives. I don't know, man. I just think it's really funny that some people think America's going to be the first one to have a non-brutal military leader of a communist regime. You can't even name one, but how many can you name in history that got that power and didn't brutalize or end up killing innocents through genocide or other weird programs? Marx is a good writer, okay? Everybody wants a utopia. Everybody wants heaven on earth. Communism has never brought it and never will, and even if it did, it'd be temporary.